Hello everybody, let's learn Arabic, our beautiful language. Learn Arabic, our beautiful language. Let's continue with our Arabic alphabet. This is the letter Sin. Sin. This is the letter Sin. How to write the letter Sin? The letter Sin, you can write the letter Sin if you can do the sleeping three. If this is here, you can go above the baseline and go downward like this to make like number three. If this is number three, you can make it like sleeping number three, like this. And then this big tail. So this is C, letter C. Letter C comes out with whispering, some whispering. This is seen. Seen, and the letter is soft, delicate, with some whispering, some weakness. Seen is whispering with some whistling, but much whisper than whistling, and some softness and some weakness of this letter, and the letter is very delicate. So this is seen. What's the articulation point of the letter seen? The articulation point of any letter is the place where the letter comes out or comes from to give this sound, which is different from the sound produced by other letter. This is called articulation point. So the articulation point of the letter sin is the tip of the tongue. Here is the tip of the tongue with the lowest part of the back of lower teeth. Here, so you can see it here. The air comes from over the lower teeth. It comes from over the lower teeth or from between the lower teeth and the upper teeth. So this is the articulation point of the letter sin. Sin. This is sheen. Sheen. Sheen is exactly like sin, and then we put this three dots in this way. We put it like this. Sheen. This is sheen with this three dots like pyramid. Sheen. What is the articulation point of sheen? The articulation point of sheen is if you say ash, ash. To know the articulation point of any letter, you can put hamza before the letter to make the letter consonant. So you will see ash, ash. You will see it comes from the middle of the tongue with the middle of the hard palate. This is the hard palate. The roof of mouth consists of hard palate, which is this part is hard palate, and the back part, the backward part is the soft palate. So it comes from the contact of the tongue with the middle part of the hard palate. So in this is sheen, sheen. Here is the articulation point of sheen. So middle of the tongue with the middle of the hard palate. Sheen. This is seen and this is sheen. This is seen and this is sheen. This is sod. Sod. How to write the letter sod? To write sod, we start from the baseline and go clockwise like this to the baseline and then upward, and then we make this tail. This is sod. 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 S. S. Sod. What is the articulation point of sod? If you say S, S, you will see that it comes from the tip of the tongue with the lowest part of the lower teeth. So sound goes passing between the upper and the lower teeth, exactly like the sin. But look at the tongue here. Look at the tongue. What is the difference between it? Is the same articulation point, but the tongue here is different. Here is you can see the tongue is elevated. See the tongue here is elevated. So this is the sod. This is the how to compare between the articulation point of sod and sin and zay. Here is the sin and zay. They comes from exactly the same articulation point, the tip of the tongue with the lower part of the back of lower teeth here. But here you can see, I want you to see the tongue here. Here's the tongue is lower, is not elevated. See the tongue here is low. Tongue is low. Look here, the sad has the same articulation point, but look at the tongue here. The tongue here is elevated, elevated, sad. And this elevation we call isti'la, isti'la of the tongue, elevation of the tongue. And this is sad, sad, s, s. You can say s with some whistling. Whistling is the imitation of a clear, high-pitched sound by forcing breath through a small hole between one's lips or teeth. Here it doesn't come from the lips, it comes from between the teeth. This gives the whistling. And you will see also whispering, al-hams, or whispering. It comes with sin and with sad, but sad has also this whistling and this elevation of the tongue. Then dod, dod. This dot is exactly the same like sad, but with this dot. This how dot comes, what's the articulation point of dot is the margins of the tongue. Dot, ad. If you say ad, ad, ad. Oh, this is hard. Ad, ad. You see the margin, it comes from the margins of the tongue with what parallel it from the upper molar. Here is the tongue will press here. Your tongue, the margins of your tongue, if you say ad, ad, the tongue will press on these areas, on these blue areas, and will touch this area. If you see here, this is the articulation point of dod. This point is the point of pressure of your tongue on both sides. This is the margins of your tongue will be here, and this area, your tongue will touch this area but without pressure. So it will be ab, ab, no hams, ab, ab, no hams at all. It is jahr, no hams. So this is sad and this is dod. Sad, dod. Then we have ta, at, at, very at, at. So this is audible. We say jahr, strength. This letter is a strong strength with elevation of the tongue also, and it is heavy, heavy letter. At, heavy, heavy with closing or itbaq. You see, at. How we see the articulation point of the ta, the tip of the tongue with the roots of upper teeth. Here, the tip of the tongue with the roots of upper teeth. Here, at, and you see this here the tongue is elevated. This elevation of the tongue here, at. So this is tip of the tongue with the roots of upper teeth. Here with the ta, it comes the dal and ta from the same articulation point. See here we can say at, ad. But you see here when we say at or ad, look at this one. The tongue, it is the same articulation point, the tip of the tongue with the root of upper teeth. But here is the tongue. If you look at the tongue is not elevated. Here is the tongue is not elevated. Look here, the tip of the tongue with the roots of upper teeth. But look at the tongue here, it is elevated backward. At. But here is not elevated. At is not elevated. Then za, we have va. See? Va, the tip of the tongue with the tips of upper teeth. See, the tip of the tongue with the tips of upper teeth. Az. And here is the articulation point of dal and the fa. As. This is the fa. As. It is the same articulation point. As. Ad. As. Ad, and here is the same. What is the difference? The difference here is the tongue. Look at the tongue here. The tongue here is not elevated, but in avz it is elevated. See how much it is elevated here. Avz. Tongue is elevated. This is ta. This is va. Ta, va. Thank you so much.